What's up, everybody? This is JWong, and we are back with another video. And this is a talking video. Interesting conversation has come up before Capcom Cup about fighting game goats. If you don't know what goats means, it's obviously an animal, but in this terminology, it's a greatest of all time. There's a lot of people, at least from the newer scene, that thinks that, oh, if you are like a younger player that's been doing really cool stuff and really great stuff, accomplishments in Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6, that automatically puts you into the GOAT. All right, interesting topic. So if you guys want to see this talking topic, make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe, turn on bell's notification, and yeah, I mean, let's get right into the video. So now Rob TV, does an amazing job with hosting all the Capcom big events and everything like that. Really cool guy, but he got a little ahead of himself. Mena winning 3 Capcom Cups would make him the GOAT of fighting games, not even the GOAT of Street Fighter, the GOAT of all fighting games, in my opinion. Now, what determines kind of like a fighting game GOAT? Obviously, I guess depending on your accomplishment, accolades, impact that you have done in the scene. MenaRD, he's such an amazing player. He won 2 Capcom Cups in Street Fighter 5, and he was like the favorite to win Capcom Cups in Street Fighter 6. Unfortunately, he did not get the 3rd title, but he pretty much carried Street Fighter League, his Street Fighter League US team. I think what determines like fighting game GOAT, it's just so weird. Obviously, we don't have rules or I guess a checklist of like what makes it. I guess if you think about like how sports are, when you think about basketball, you're like Michael Jordan's the GOAT, right? I'm not a really big expert, but people tell me basketball has changed now. The meta has changed now. Everyone can shoot threes. Like even their grandparents and little kids can shoot threes. What is up, everyone? I'm excited to share that I'll be hosting and commentating at Red Bull Kumite in Brooklyn, New York. I am in there when it comes to talking on the mics. The LCQs and plans will start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, March 16th, while the main event will start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, March 17th. Many of the players such as Punk the God, MenaRD, Angry Bird, Gachi-kun, they even got Hibiki the Beast, the best Lily player in the world, come over to Brooklyn, New York to try to win Red Bull Kumite. Be sure to check out all the information, all the streams, all the matches, all the hypes, all the drama on twitch.tv/Redbull. Back in the day versus now, it's a different time. Do we undervalue what the old players that have been winning back in the day have done? Maybe the newer players think, yeah, the competition was way easier back in the day. It's not as hard compared to now. And then there's so much more money now, so it means a lot more now. I just think that's kind of full of shit. Because ultimately, if it wasn't for the old guard who has been winning tournaments from back in the day and, participating in these tournaments, we might not even be in this position where, the younger players getting this, a lot more money now, sponsorships, because I was playing since the year 2000 and I did not get a sponsorship. Like I joined Team Evil Geniuses in 2010. So 10 years I would spend my own money, go to these events, win $300, and people will be like, wow, JWong, you're so cool, you're so good. But in reality, it's just like I'm winning like $300. Winning Evo back in the day, it's like $1,000, $1,500, right? It's still the best players in the world that come here, but it's just an obviously more smaller scale. Obviously, you have 7,000 people for Street Fighter 6 this year, over 7,000, but probably at least over half the competitors don't really know how to play the game. They just go to Evo to enjoy Evo and, see if they could run into their favorite players or just want to get more experience, stuff like that. Like, it's just, I think back in the day, all the players that did come to Evo were all like hardcore FGC guys. There was really no fans. It was just like literally just competition. I do think records are meant to be broken. Like I have the most Evo wins and everything like that. People have like Daigo's the GOAT, Tokido, sometimes myself, but records are meant to be broken. And I do think like eventually a new greatest of all time will come. It's just that like, man, like the fact that all the new younger fresh talent are saying, yeah, man, like they played like Mena played Street Fighter 5, 2-time Capcom Cup champion, and like he was doing really good in 6. He's automatically just part of the GOAT conversation. And it's just kind of tough because obviously it's very Street Fighter biased, because Rob TV did say that like, oh, the reason why other players from the same era don't get into that same category is because Street Fighter is the hardest competition out there. Now, I don't know how true this is, I still think it's very Street Fighter biased because it's very mainstream. All of you guys know it. I know it. Tekken 7 was kind of crazy when it comes to international talent. It was actually insane. And even other games such as like King of Fighters, man. King of Fighters in China, it might as well be a national sport there, and it's so hard. There's no way, like, let's say you can't talk about Xiaohai. Xiaohai is like the king of SNK. He can beat literally 99% of us with just one hand. I don't think MenaRD or any Capcom player can beat like a top player with one hand. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Xiaohai could beat me in King of Fighters one hand, but I wouldn't be able to beat Xiaohai in Street Fighter one hand, and anyone else like that's in that category of like being one of the GOATs, right, or whatever. Arsnash, I mean, he was like a grand champion. He won 4 Evos, Evo Japan, Evo USA, and the Tekken World Tour final. So it's just like, in my personal opinion, I would have him over MenaRD already. Even Sonic Fox, I know Sonic Fox hasn't been around or like made some noise, but if you think about the few years since like 2017 to now, I mean, he's won a Mortal Kombat Evo, he's won Tours, he won Dragon Ball Evo, and he won Skullgirls Evo. So he won 3 different official Evo games within the same lifespan of a Street Fighter player. So it's like you have to kind of put Sonic Fox above him too. Like, I know this might sound like I'm taking jabs with Mena, but I do think Mena's going to be up there for sure. With his passion, he has made a huge impact into the Dominican Republic scene, and more players are really looking into DR players now, right? Like there's like Kaba, Crossover, and many more. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do for the future. And the thing is, like, when he loses, he's kind of like a Saiyan. And once he loses, he just comes back stronger and stronger. That's just how Mena is. He's just never comfortable with just like, or complacent with where he's at. That's what makes him like, he has the heart of the champion. It's just that Rob TV. This is more of just like a Rob TV thing, because he just Rob TV. He's great. You know, we chat up, but he knows that he mashes on the word GOAT. So now people might think about, oh, what about old fighting game players? They can't compete with new fighting game players. Age is a factor and responsibility is a factor. But every new player that is in the scene that's killing it now has lost to one of the old guards. This is a fact. This is proven. It's not that old fighting game players are not as good. We're probably on the same level. Obviously, you know, the younger ones will be able to, you know, invest more into their games and do better eventually, and obviously like just skyrocket past. But just to say that like old fighting game players just don't have anymore, I mean, that's kind of tough, especially when like Capcom Club there were so many like 30+ year olds like Chris Wong. He literally said he is a salary man, and every time he finishes work he just plays like 4 hours after work Street Fighter 6, and look, he got second place at Capcom Cup, $300,000, right? And Sako, I mean, one of the legends, one of the gods of Street Fighter, of just like fighting game in Japan. He is 44 years old and he's still fighting. He's still in Street Fighter League Japan as a sponsored player that people pick him up. And now another example of like kind of young player bias when it comes to FGC is just like Problem X. Problem X is a great player. He won Evo, which is like really huge, right? Because it's just like, damn, he beat Tokido like the following year after Tokido won in season 2, so that was just amazing, right? He didn't give Tokido the 2-peat, but to say that, like, you know, a lot of players, yeah, Problem X is the best UK player of all time that has ever came out from the UK. That's crazy to me, because a player that people don't talk about or give their flowers to is Ryan Hart. Ryan Hart is a legend, and I personally think he's like up there in the top 5 Rushmore for me since 1994. He's been playing since 1994, so before me. He is also a 2-time Evo champion. He won Tekken Tag Tournament in 2004 and Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection in 2008. He also had 7 top 8 finishers in Virtua Fighter in Evo, Virtua Fighter 4, Tekken 4, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Tekken 6. He's also been in Capcom Cup 2 times in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5. So like it's kind of insane that like with his results and with all the variety that he has played, it's just, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to talk about Reinhardt as probably the current greatest of all time in Europe, in UK, right? He holds 4 Guinness World Records for fighting games, including most countries' tournaments a player has ever like been and won in. I don't know about that, you know. I think I might have that. That's my personal goat when it comes to like UK and everything like that. And talking about like who's your top 5 goats and everything, for me it's just like in terms of accomplishment results, Reinhardt's up there, Tokido's up there, Sonic Fox is up there, Daigo's up there, and I guess myself. I don't like counting myself. I just hate talking about myself. But in general, it's just like I think the only young player that has already made it in terms of the GOAT category is probably Sonic Fox, because of all the results that Sonic Fox has produced in previous like Evos, and also winning tours like constantly. Not even just winning 1 or 2 tours, like he is a multi-time tour winner when it comes to like, you know, official branding, official development. And the thing about what's back in the day, what kind of sucks, we didn't have tours, so you never know. If there was tours back in the day, we probably would have won them. Who knows? It's all obviously subjective from there. But I think it's just more of like, I think the younger guys are in the scene trying to hype things up. They do such a great job, but I don't think they have their research, their history. Rob TV was saying, yeah, if Mena does it, if Angry Bird won Capcom Cup, he would be the first person to ever win Capcom Cup and Evo. And I'm like, Momochi already did that. Momochi already won Evo and Capcom Cup for, you know, for Street Fighter 4. They didn't even mention that Sako actually won the first Capcom Cup. It was 2013, I believe. Yeah, 2013. It was that was the first Capcom Cup ever made, and Sako was the Street Fighter 4 winner that year. Nobody talks about it because people forgot, or they just don't bring it up or anything like that. But there's a lot of history when it comes down to these fighting game tournaments, and obviously it paved the way to where it is now, where $1 million tournaments, you know, 6-figure tournaments, 5-figure tournaments. There's so many of these tournaments now, which is great. It's, you know, everyone the FGC is eating, but obviously we just need to pay some respect, I believe, in terms of results, and just stop mashing on the word GOAT and just thinking like these prize pool should automatically make you into a GOAT. But overall, that is just kind of my little rant that I wanted to bring up, because I was just getting kind of annoyed. It's kind of just like you're just stepping on history and just not caring about it. But do you guys think I'm over exaggerating? Do you guys think I have great points? Let me know in the comments below. I love MenaRD. I love Rob TV. I actually betted MenaRD to win the tournament. You know, unfortunately he lost, so I lost my money, but doesn't mean I'm a MenaRD hater. It's just more of just like, I do think he'll eventually get there. It's just, you know, just keep doing what you do best, man. Winning. Other than that, this is JWong, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.